Good evening, cats and kittens. I am back with a new action figure. And what action figure, might you ask? Well, this is the NECA Shin Godzilla Final Form. I have wanted this figure for ages, and surprisingly, of all places, I was able to find it on eBay. And the seller was actually from Ireland, so it didn't take too long for me to get my hands on him. It is an awesome, absolutely awesome figure from an incredible movie. If you haven't seen Shin Godzilla, check it out. A quick rundown of the movie. Essentially, like the original Godzilla, it's an analogy for a tragedy that struck Japan, whereas the original was commentary on nuclear energy and nuclear weapons being used on the Japanese people and the testing in the South Pacific. This is a commentary on how bureaucracy led to tragedy in the events and wake of the Fukushima disaster, how every I had to be dotted and every T had to be crossed. And while this stuff was going on, people died. And the movie acknowledges that, as in, essentially Godzilla is a force of nature, and when there's too many cooks, it can just lead to absolute anarchy and disaster. But again, the design is fantastic. It is a in a way, it's a major departure from Godzilla's original design, but it does stay true to the design at the same time. A quick look at the figure here. As you can see, he's got kind of the dorsal plates and spikes of Godzilla. He's got the big kind of hind legs to lift him up, and the smaller arms, and he's got the tail. But again, as you can see, there's other differences as well. The skin is broken and kind of almost bloody looking, as again to try and reflect on victims of nuclear disaster. Again, the Fukushima plant breaking down, that obviously led to a lot of people being exposed to radiation, and a horrible, absolutely horrible affliction to have radiation poisoning. So it's kind of depicting that. And the other interesting thing is his maw is very different from the originals. Now, it doesn't start off like this. Keep in mind, Godzilla has in the movie four forms. This is his final form. And what it is when he is firing his atomic blasts. Now, I say atomic blasts. I'm not going to say atomic breath because there's a reason for that. His lower jaw or maxilla or mandible or whatever you want to call it splits open at the base so he can fire out a greater beam. And there is some nice articulation in this figure. It's pretty cool. The head can rotate. It can move back and forth. There's a bit of rotation in the arms. The arms can be altered. A bit of rotation in the torso. Legs can be moved. The foot can be moved. And there is quite a bit of articulation in the tail. The tail is fantastic. This Godzilla is terrifying. This is probably the scariest incarnation of Godzilla in the movies. And yeah, just he is absolutely monstrous. And I love the fact I finally have this guy. As I said before, he does have atomic blasts, because not only can he shoot out atomic breath, but also out his tail. And this is where his accessories come in. These two here, these atomic blasts, can be affixed into both his mouth and his tail. And I'll show you how that's done. So you get a wire here, and you push it in there, so it's coming out of his mouth like that. Originally, it comes out like a kind of smoke, concentrated smoke or fire, and then it narrows down into a concentrated beam, and he uses said beam to destroy the city. And again, you have the tail beam, which he uses to take out other threats as well. So yeah, he can be firing them both simultaneously, and like be taking out threats with both the beam, his breath, his atomic beam breath, and the breath or the laser coming out of his tail also. Really, really cool design. Really like this guy. Really awesome. Again, I got this guy on eBay. Only downside is guy didn't have the box, but at the price I paid for him, it was still pretty fucking awesome. And the dude was super nice. I wasn't sure it was going to get here on time, but it did. It made it there on time. And yeah, again, I'm probably going to pick up a couple other Godzilla figures off the guy, because he's selling them off really cheap, and he seemed like a nice guy. So yeah, again, really cool design. I really like this guy, and the fact that the beams can be taken off and can be displayed as such. I do think that there is another version of Shin Godzilla that NECA released without the jaw split open. But I just love this one. I just think that's cool. I like, again, that face is terrifying. It's nightmarish. And that's, yeah, it's cool. No surprise, the movie was directed by one of the creators of Evangelion, and yeah, it's just there's something existential about this Godzilla as well, which really lends itself to the terror of the character. It's just like this thing, we mean nothing to it. We're just an obstacle or an insect to be tread on. And yeah, again, just really cool. Guys, I'm going to do a size comparison to my other Godzillas, so don't go anywhere. I shall be right back. And we are back. And here is Shin Godzilla, and I'm going to put, I think this is Godzilla, maybe Godzilla 89. I think that's who I have there. That's another NECA figure. Looks really cool. Sizes up really well, but in actual scale, on measurement and size, this guy is the largest Godzilla. I think next to Earth Godzilla from the animated series. But yeah, this scales up really well. Strangely enough, I do have another Shin Godzilla. This is actually a Bandai toy of Shin Godzilla as well, which is pretty cool. And he scales up to him really well as well. So if you wanted to do the display, there isn't too much of a size difference, and they complement each other really, really well. And yeah, again, I'm really glad I got this guy. Really cool design. Really like the fact he comes with the two atomic beams or blasts or whatever you want to call them. They kick ass. Would you get this figure, guys? Do you like Shin Godzilla? Have you seen the movie? What did you think? Or would you like the earlier stages of Shin Godzilla's evolution? I would love to get, I think it's Shinagawa Katakun, which is the kind of more, not tadpole, but more salamander-like Godzilla, because that thing is creepy. I'd love to get a figure of that. I have seen them online, but you're looking at three to four figures for getting them. But again, really cool figure. Really glad I got this guy. Complements these guys really well, and I'm gonna have some fun posing them and maybe getting them to destroy Lego cities and such forth. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of Shin Godzilla, and what is your favorite Godzilla movie, and which do you think is the most serious Godzilla movie? Let me know in the comments below, and yeah, have a good one. Bye now.
He picks up a bus and he throws it back down as he waves through the building, stories and